Bring it on. Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, I am a pirate. You have to go with the pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything. It's a pirate's life for me. Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're pirate. It is a first down. Pirates. Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it. I think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there. You live with Omaha? I can promise you that. And a purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down of my soul, and I don't back down not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome in to the Sports Objective as we're here on another great Sunday night. Less than 50 days before our great college football season, and we're only about a month away for Alan, Vic, and I to do high school football. So great to have you tonight. This is literally the only thing that I'll be doing for the entire weekend. I've been under the weather, and sometimes you have to, as Stevie and I were talking about pregame, you have to give into it. So we'll definitely feel much better. Let's go now to Kyle from LaGrange Barber. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, here on Sunday night. We are 48 days until Pirate football. We are less than that from college football in general. We are just about, at this point, 12 days or so until practice starts. It's getting to be football season. So, enjoying a little Major League Baseball in the meantime. I know we all went to concerts except for Stevie this past week. So,
some people.
Well, that's true. We'll talk about that later in the show. If we talk Pirate football, I had Turnpike Troubadours in Charlotte. The rest of the guys had Coral Reefer Band in Wilmington, so we'll get into all that after we talk Pirate athletics. But not a lot to talk about, so we're going to make stuff up.
There's always a lot. Hey, Steve, let's bring in now the man that was All-American all 4 years at East Carolina playing football, Stevie Fly.
Jesus Christ, we're going to lie. You're not making stuff up.
Yeah, we're making stuff up tonight. I might as well say,
have anything to talk about? What's up, Stevie Fly?
I'm sitting here as senior VP of Balsam Hill Tree Company under Matt Semenza. It's a pirate's life for me. I would say that. Sorry, I didn't get to go to a concert this week. I'm unlike Kyle. I don't go to one like every other day, but
man,
some people have to work and
run in the cornfields.
Yeah. Hey, Robert Matthews, how you doing, bud? But yeah,
all of my original material I stole from someone else.
We're getting into short rows now.
Short rows.
Yeah. Did you like how I threw that in there?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. We're getting into short rows now. Not only college football, but I know Kyle don't want to hear this, but the other football is getting ready to start.
Hey, you know what? I'm actually going to try to follow the Panthers this year. It'll probably last about 2 weeks, and I'll be done with it. But I'm going to try.
Kind of like with the Cubs.
No, I'm back into the Cubs, baby. I'm back into the Cubs.
Kyle, how about them Orioles? We're on a win streak now.
Oh, you win like 3 in a row?
No, we've actually won 7 in a row now. So.
You know what? With the AL like it is, you could get in the wild card race.
Look, we're only 2 games under 500, and we're about 8 games out of first place in the AL East.
There you go. No, hey, look, that's insane. Man, Dave, I'm back into the Cubs. That was a losing streak at a bad time, and I had another reason to be mad at the Cubs.
I know.
And so now I'm fully back into the Cubs. The game in Washington, unfortunately, wasn't going to work out because of Jessica's work schedule anyway. So, but I do want to make it up there for a game because it is the closest way to see them. But yeah, I'm back into the Cubs. I got the MLB, and I'll shut up and introduce JR and Justin, or not Justin, Jesus,
Justin.
Alan.
Good,
Alan.
I would take that.
But I got during the All-Star break, you could get the remainder of the season for MLB TV for $47, and I took advantage of that.
Yeah, that was a great deal. Let's bring in a guy that hopefully will be going to the baseball game with the kids tonight, and that's Johnny Robertson. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Does that mean we get in the luxury suites with you now because Kyle's not going?
I'm not sure about that, but I can't. You know what? I'm gonna do. I'll be right out front with everybody listening. I'm having audio problems, so Dave, I'm not even sure what you said. I just agreed with it, whatever it was. But is Wildfire not going to be on the show tonight?
Yes, he is actually being daddy right now. So
I thought he was busy running around. He's been spotted all over Canada, and they got wildfires everywhere. And their air has been terrible. Like you can see particles floating in the air, and it really puts a damper on what you can do outside. But every time they mention, the smoke is from the wildfires, I get momentarily mad at Justin, but it's not really his fault. So
Justin is not a Canadian arsonist.
JR, you just agreeing with whatever we say tonight, right?
Right, Stevie.
So you can give me like $500,000, right?
No, I heard that. No, hey, I know y'all are talking about other things to keep you occupied until Pirate football starts, at least till Pirate football practice starts. But I'll throw this out there. Maybe tune in to ESPN Plus tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. because the Winterville Pitt County Little League softball girls are tearing it up.
Yes, they are.
They are tearing it up, and they've outscored they beat Alabama on Friday 18-0.
I was going to say when I was watching it.
Sign of things to come, right, Kyle?
Absolutely.
And then they beat Virginia 14-0, and in a 3-inning game, which I didn't even know you could go as short as 3 innings. But yeah, the Winterville only had 2 at bats in that game, and they still scored, 32 runs in 6 innings of at bats. So, and they haven't even allowed a hit yet.
Wow.
They're going to play Florida, who is also 2-0, but they haven't rolled through people like North Carolina has. So good luck to the ladies in Winterville, and I'll be watching for sure tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.
Speaking of Winterville, let's bring in the chauffeur. We could call him James because he drove us down to Wilmington and drove us back, and he didn't get any kind of trouble. I'm talking about Alan.
I think Hoke is a better name.
Who?
Hoke.
Oh, I know what he's talking about. Yeah.
Probably Miss Daisy. Hoke.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So you're saying Dave and Johnny will Miss Daisy?
They are old Jewish women.
Not hardly. But anyway, Alan, thank you for the trip, sir. Thank you for the tickets. You were very kind. And, I hope we're past the statute of limitations because Johnny hit a guy with a beach ball. We were on the 4th row. Thank you, Kyle, by the way, for your intel on.
You're welcome. And then JR did the legwork. So good job, JR.
Right.
Yeah, he literally threw a beach ball. It hit the cameraman on the side of his face, and the camera shook.
Wow.
I think I'll just
Now, hold on, Dave. Hold on. I didn't throw it, first of all. I spiked it, and I meant to spike it hard because I wanted to reach the stage, but
I'm sorry.
I didn't plan on nailing the cameraman in the head.
I'm sorry I used the wrong verb there, Alan. I'm sorry that I did that. He still hit him.
I think Kyle said that JR did the leg work, which is a direct, little punch at me. Thank you.
Absolutely, Alan. I often take shots at you. That's what I was doing.
No, I didn't do anything. Alan pulled off the amazing caper of not only finding us a parking spot that wasn't available, but also gaining us entrance into the venue without waiting in line. So I told him that neither one of them could be done, and he proved me wrong on both of them. And I was very relieved when we walked back to the vehicle and your car was still sitting in the parking place, Alan.
we all breathed a big sigh of relief when the
Alan, Stevie, God dang it, JR told me
Corporate.
about what happened with the parking where you asked for handicap parking because you have the placard, and they told you there was none, and so you went and parked in the VIP lot. Well, you handled it. I would have handled it a little different, but we both would have handled it the same. You got pissed off and handled business. I would have asked them would they like an ADA violation, and not having any handicap parking is against the law.
Yep, and I think we literally about the last spot that there was, seriously. But it all worked out. Had a great time. I hope Dave didn't get the crud from being with us on Tuesday night, but we had a good time. It was a great show. JR, very nice to spend some time. Johnny's in the back seat with Dave. Mike's in the front seat, and he's blind. JR is about half deaf without his hearing aids, so I had to scream and yell every joke I told. He got about half of them, and which is good. But we had a great time.
Alan, you know what? Even the ones that I didn't hear the whole joke, I could tell it was funny, so I laughed anyhow.
Yeah,
it was all about the delivery. I could tell that it needed to be laughed at. So no, I enjoyed that very much. Thank you for driving and introducing us to Mike. He was a great dude, and we hope we can pull off another road trip in the near future.
Boys, I got one. I got a road trip for us right now. Everybody, right now, mark your calendars, and I swear, unlike the Cubs game where I've had to cancel, I will not be canceling this one. Mark your calendars on my birthday, October the 13th. The Hurricanes host the Capitals. Dave's been wanting to do a Canes game, so I suggest we all go to the Canes game for my birthday, October 13th.
That would be great.
We can swing that.
Yeah.
Might be able to do
Stevie, that includes you.
Me? Oh, you gonna let me go?
Yeah. Well, you normally don't do anything unless it's in Roanoke Rapids. So,
Oh man, you're throwing some major shade.
Oh, I'll get him back.
Well, he'll also do things in Murfreesboro.
Well, there's some
And a hoskie.
there's some center blocks I got to pick up soon too.
I'm gonna throw some cinder blocks at your ass when I'm on day.
Man, we're off to a great start. It's storming here, by the way, fellas. Like
We just had some rain, but we didn't have enough.
man, it is like the thunder is like, oh well, the thunder rolls like Garth Brooks. Let's go ahead and start talking. We're only 13 minutes into the show. Let's talk some Pirate sports. Obviously, Pirate football, guys. It's not too far away, by the way. Stevie, can you get off the middle Saturday, because we'll have the of course the
Middle Saturday.
Middle Saturday.
Sorry, middle of August. That Saturday. I think it's the 15th, 14th.
Which game? I mean, what is it?
15th.
Media Day.
Oh, I doubt that on 15th. I'll check, but I doubt it. I'll let me double check and make sure.
How about if we all come up there to the grocery store?
Go.
And we get up.
Hey, what you do? You come up there and you guys pool all your money together, buy everything. Then I won't have anything to cut.
There you go.
So I can leave.
Well, then they'll be panicking and have an emergency shipment come in. You have to unload
Well,
the
it
truck.
won't get in there that day if you buy it like the day before. I mean,
It's true.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Speaking of road trips, we'll have to go and walk in and say, Stevie, we're going to buy you out, man.
Hey, speaking of buying things, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to throw out a plug here. If anybody, likes to help a teacher out, go to my Facebook page, Kyle Barber. That's my name. If you didn't know. And it's made public, so you don't have to be a friend with me. And my wife, who is a teacher, has her wish list up there for her classroom. And come on, my wife, something for her classroom. Help a teacher out, because I got truck payments to make. I can't spend no money on classroom materials. So there you go, Kyle Barber's Facebook page. Click on Jessica Barber's wish list. Okay, there's my plug for my wife's wish list for her classroom. Back to sports.
And what ages does she teach, Kyle?
Second grade.
Great.
Yeah.
Ollie to give the weather, Kyle.
Say again?
I said, let's go to Ollie and give us the weather report.
It's gonna rain.
All right, Kenny, what's up, brother Kenny?
Curlers.
The Pirate offense averaged 32.7 points last season, and the defense averaged 20.1. How do you see the season going with a new offensive coordinator And the quarterback, the defense should be around the same.
I would expect the defense to be very similar. Offensively, it's going to be a work in progress. If you look, maybe we come out the gate humming. Like I said, I wish we had a tune-up game. Unfortunately, I think it'll take a couple games to get the offense going. I would say probably about the same on defense. I'll say take a couple points off on offense, maybe around 28, 29 points a game. Probably with the offense getting going later in the season, get that point total up. But yeah, that would be my guess. I'll say similar on defense, and then offense maybe 28, 29 points a game.
I'm with you. Normally offense is a bit behind defense in this type situation. I agree, Kyle. I hope it's like 2010 and things, get rolling game one, but we shall see.
Yeah, I think our offense is going to come along quicker. And, keep in mind, I know he wasn't calling the plays, but he was an integral part of that offense. And they weren't just the best offense in the conference. They were the best offense in the nation. Yeah. And there were some darn good offenses. I think he's got the athletes to, accomplish, what he wants to do. And I just feel like, like I've said it before, we've already got two guys that are probably going to be starters that are used to his offense. And then we got another, several great athletes that I just think that are going to pick this up sooner than later. And I think we're going to be competitive from the start. That's my opinion.
I think we'll be competitive. I think we're going to be lighting up the scoreboard early. And, after the Alabama game, App will be in the same situation. And our defense, I would expect I don't expect to shut people out every game, but I would expect maybe games to look similar to the Coastal Carolina game in terms of defense playing well, offense kind of struggling, and then putting it away late kind of deal. I'm not talking about blowing out App State. What was that final score? 38-0. But I mean, from that kind of, if you look back at that game, I would expect some early games after Alabama to kind of look like that game where defense really has to carry things.
Yeah, I feel very good about our offense. I think we're going to be fine. I really do. I think what makes me feel good is normally we have offense and we have no defense, but the defense I think is like you said, I think it's going to be really good. So I mean, we could potentially have a top 25, top 30 defense. I really believe this year, and then on top of that, the offense. We'll see. I think the offensive line, as I've stated, is underrated. I think we've got a lot of depth at every position. Yes, we don't have the experience as far as quarterback playing at East Carolina, but I think those guys that we have in that room are going to be good.
Yeah, I think so too. It just has to come together.
It's just like, like I was just going to say, it's just going to be how quick can they come together and start clicking. That's the thing. I know Kyle is like, we should have had a tune-up game, but we don't. So we got to do the best we can against a tough Alabama team, and then hopefully don't come out of there with any injuries, and go into App State and take care of business.
Brandon says, I hope we don't start 0-2. We got App State the week after Alabama.
Yeah, I've talked about that ad nauseum.
If we do, Kyle will have an explosion.
I will, and not in a good way.
And it's not because of lettuce either.
Let's get ready to say that. It's because of the lettuce. Oh, man.
By the way, why is Taco Bell catching so much heat for this? Taco Bell has nothing to do with Taylor Farms.
Oh, wait a minute.
And not only Taylor Farms also supplies lettuce to McDonald's. But anyway,
there was something going on with Taco Bell before that whole thing came out. Because believe it or not, a coworker of mine got sick, which it ended up not being anything to do with that. But she had gone to Taco Bell the night before, and it came on the news that night when I was watching it.
And with that could have just
something
been.
To do. I mean, it was something that Taco Bell had left out or put in.
Well, yeah, but that's an isolated location.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though, that's why that was somebody talked about that before the whole lettuce gate happened.
Yeah, but I'm saying people keep saying lettuce from Taco Bell. No, it's Taylor Farms lettuce, and they sell stuff to Walmart all over the place. But anyway, Kenny Carlin's Phil still gives the nod to Emory Williams over Mitch Griffith. Yeah, he does. I think we're going to see them both. In my opinion, I think Mitch will start it and Emory will finish it.
I agree.
I don't believe I would start Emory against Alabama. I just don't think that's a smart thing to do. But you know, if it's close during fall camp, I would start Mitch against Alabama.
All right. In fact, I guess we could do a poll. That would be interesting to see who people thinks. But it literally is a 50-50. I believe.
Well, here's my thought. I don't think Mitch has been around for forever, you know, and I don't think he's got a fragile psyche. And Emory has had some success, but he's also not had some success. I think Mitch could go in against Bama, have a poor performance, and be fine. Emory does that, you could end up, you know, damaging him. So you know, if it's close, I give Mitch the nod for Bama. I don't think if I could be wrong on this, but I really believe you're going to see both play the first few games.
I agree. I don't think you're going to see one, you know, outshine the other by such a margin that it's a no-brainer. You know, I do believe that it's going to be Griffiths to start, but I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Kenny said why? Well, why he's played against big time teams. Yeah, like 2 starts, and one of those starts in the bowl game, he folded under pressure and played horrible. That's why. Whereas Mitch has started way more games than Emory, and he's more mobile, and I don't think he has a very fragile psyche. I mean, the kid at one point just left football and worked construction, then got back into football. I think Mitch has lost enough while he was starting quarterback at Wake Forest that losing won't bother him. You know, I'm not sure that Emory, and I could be wrong. Emory, you know, maybe 100% can handle it.
Yep. Brandon says, I saw a post on Twitter about John Gilbert pushing for East Carolina to join.
Yeah, I believe that. Like I believe you're telling me.
First of all, didn't Memphis offer to like pay them to be in the conference, and they said no?
Yes.
So I don't think we're going to go to the Big 12.
I don't think John Gilbert is the type to push for anything like that.
No.
If they came to him and asked, he'd probably be like, "Well, we're going to have to look at things," and then of course we'd go. But yeah, no, that they're false. Well, yeah, thanks, Bubba, for clearing that up. I would
appreciate that, Bubba.
Yeah.
You are like one whatever the population of China Grove IQ there, like you said about Lasker today. I was impressed. Bubba knew the population of Lasker today.
He's got a phone right in his hand. You can look it up.
I know. I mean, but he came with it so quick. So
yeah. Well, Bubba's got a brand new phone.
Hey, Stevie.
Bubba's got a brand new bag.
Bubba's got a brand new bag.
Stevie.
Yes, sir.
Pronounce the name of your county, please.
Northampton.
Yeah. Okay. How is that? I mean, it struck me when I crossed over the Roanoke River, and it said, you know, leaving Northampton County, or when I was going back to Virginia, it said entering Northampton County, but it's only one H. So
yeah, and
it's either Northampton or Northampton. I mean, you're using the H twice there. I don't know how you're getting away with that.
Like I said, I don't know what they were thinking when they came up with the name, about the pronunciation, but I know in school, my history teacher made it clear, do not put 2 H's in Northampton. So I've always remembered that too. So.
All right. Matt says more about Mitch drowning out the noise from fans, etc. Yeah, I think baseball, when you talk about a pitch, you talk about command. I think the poise would be what you would say in football.
Yes, yeah. Matt maybe worded it better than I did there. Yeah, but yeah, it's not that I don't think Emory maybe has the higher ceiling for sure than Mitch. I just think unless Emory's the clear-cut winner in fall, I start Mitch against Alabama. I'm not saying I don't play Emory against Alabama. I'm not saying I don't even start Emory the next week against App. I'm saying I believe I would start Mitch against Alabama.
Yep, I agree. And like we said before, I would be like Coach Logan. I get whoever is the second string quarterback, I'd get them in for a series for sure, or 2.
Now, to be clear, if Emory is the clear-cut winner, you know, if he just, you know, tears it up in fall camp, then that's that.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, nobody, unless it's changed in the last few weeks, I haven't heard. A lot of people have been on vacation, but from what I'm hearing is nobody's lightening up for it to be like a clear-cut winner. And I also think that why would Blake Harrell say that such and such, whichever one, is my number one when people will know to get prepared for that guy. So it's, to me, a little bit of gamesmanship.
Yeah. Hey, I'd just like to mention that there's a podcast somewhere in Tuscaloosa having the same subject. This is the first time that they have not sent a quarterback to the Manning Passing Academy. This is the first time that they're not having a quarterback, first time in many, many, many years that the players, going representing the Alabama football team there's not going to be a quarterback among them. So, and that's because they don't know. They don't know who their quarterback is. And neither one of them is spectacular at this point. So I don't know. I'm kind of glad we're getting them in the first game, to be honest with you.
I get it from that standpoint. I get it from that standpoint. My complaint is being able to get our offense ready for the rest of the year. But
I know your point. I'm just trying to throw a couple reasons that may be working for us in the positive way. I know the negative.
Well, it could. I agree with you, JR. It could make the score look better because our defense should be good.
I said the same thing when we had this conversation a month or so ago, and Kyle
about 2 months.
Yeah, and you just blew that off like I didn't know. I still you like, I'll get it from that point.
In terms of winning the game, I don't think it matters. But in terms of the score, I think them hopefully struggling early on offense, and us having a good defense, I think will keep the score down.
Pull the tape right now that show when I said when I coached us getting a good team the first game of the year. Was to our advantage, and I said the same. It could be the same thing with that.
He said,
"No, you don't know what you're talking about."
In terms of what I'm trying to say,
I know what you're trying to say.
It's not going to help our. I guarantee you. I don't know that Blake Harrell will say it out loud either with the offensive coordinator, but I guarantee you they'd rather be playing a whole lot of other people week one to get that offense going. But you're right, their offense. Or JR's right. JR's right.
Flip that name.
Their offense could, with a new quarterback, could potentially be struggling early also.
I said the same thing.
Matt says still quarterback roulette throughout college football. Most teams are, and we're in a different era. And like I've said before, you don't have Nick Saban, where it would be 63-10 or something like that. I think Alabama fans were spoiled beyond belief during that time. And now they're like, I'm not saying they're bad. I just think that they think they're back to, would you say reality? Back down.
Well, I mean, they went to the playoffs last year and everybody stood. I think the fact that they were in the playoffs last year and everybody acts like the Alabama has fallen and they suck wiener now is just says how good their program is.
I'll put it to you this way. They want the intimidating Alabama that they had been in years past.
Right. They were
like
not.
You saw, and even when they you didn't think.
Alan, are you all right?
It's all good. Nothing's wrong.
It looked like you just did a handstand.
We got to get Alan.
All I'll say is this, and I'll leave it here on this whole thing. And believe me, I want East Carolina to play as well as possible against Alabama. But I'll just say this. Check the scores for Boise, for Tulane, and check the scores for JMU. They were both playoff teams last year, and they got their tails whipped against Power 4 playoff teams. Yeah. So I don't expect us right now. The last time I checked on ESPN.com, I think the line of our game is 25.5. Honestly, if we lose by 25, in most scenarios in my head, unless it's something you just crazy like 50-25. We lose by 21 to 28 points and we go out there and we're competitive, I'll feel pretty good. And be chomping at the bit for App State. So I'm not. Look, if we lose that game by 10 or 14, shoot, I'll be camping out from Saturday night to the next Saturday for App. So
go back and look at that 91 season. We lost to Illinois.
But
and then we played
that bogus call, Stevie. That bad call.
Yes, I do. And then we come back. Who was it we played the next week, Kyle?
After Illinois, I don't remember. Was it Memphis?
They beat USC.
Memphis.
Do you know that 91 game against Illinois, the season opener, was the first August football game we had ever played.
Wow.
We didn't play a game in August until
Wow. Well, we played quite a few since.
1991.
But I mean, they came out the next
The
week.
very next week wasn't South Carolina, Stevie.
I know it wasn't South Carolina.
You said we beat USC.
No, I said that team that we played.
Oh, it was Memphis.
Beat USC the week.
I think it was UCLA who they beat, and it was Memphis.
Yeah, it was Memphis. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you exactly who they played.
It was Memphis, game 2 for us.
Yeah.
Brandon says, "Wish we could be playing North Carolina Central week 1."
Brandon, I agree with you. You're correct, sir.
And Kenny says, "Just remember how Alabama played their first game last season. Florida State beat them, and they were not a good team."
They suck,
Put
Kenny.
Bubba's comment up there.
We may lose in lopsided fashion, but South Florida put a scare in them twice. Why can't we?
I think we could defensively. Unfortunately, the offense is just got to. I don't think the offense will be ready for that in week 1.
Memphis beat USC 24-10.
Well, congratulations on
Kyle, I
remembering
get
who
what
the
you're
team
doing
beat,
here.
and I remember who it was. It was Memphis.
Kyle, I get what you're doing here. I finally figured it out.
What's that?
You downplayed
You're
it.
just
Reverse
you're
psychology.
challenging the offense to prove you wrong. You're just trying to get them fired up so that they go out there and prove you wrong. And I think that
I hope that's what happens, but no, I'm really.
That sounds a lot better than what he's thinking.
No, what I am is realistic. I don't blow smoke. I'm not going to rah. And quite frankly, what I say don't really make a damn. I don't coach and I don't play. But I'm just saying I don't like our offense against Alabama in game 1 with a brand new everything. I don't know who in their right mind would with a brand new everything. Now, do I like our defense against their offense in game 1? Yes. I don't get to make the schedule. If I could make the schedule, we'd never played this game. But, not everybody agrees with me. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to play Sisters of the Poor, and then next week we play,
let's say we played it
State, and then we play. We're gonna go 12-0.
No, I love the Northwestern game. I love when we play at NC State or NC State playing here. Next year we got Northwestern and Wake Forest. I love that. Those are very winnable games against Power 4. The Alabamas of the world is just it's not worth it to me. Look at Michigan. I mean, it's just not worth it. I know the money's good, but it's just not worth it.
That's a good one, Brandon. If that happened, Kyle would probably have tarps off all around Green.
I'm not going to feel like a fool at all. I'm going to feel grateful, blessed. If we manage to beat Alabama or even keep it within 2 scores, I'll be ecstatic.
And I know what you're saying, dude, with the offense. So many question marks on the offense, but I don't get me wrong either. I'm not going into this thinking we're gonna beat Alabama. We're going down there and we're gonna beat Alabama. But like I said before, this is the best time to play them is when they've got so much uncertainty on their side too.
Yeah, Stevie and I we look at this the same way.
Yep.
And I look at also, Stevie, our personnel on offense. We got a lot of talent. We got a lot of speed. And Dave, you made a critical point. The offensive line is turning out to be better than we thought it would. And then we have, Brandon Best from Kennesaw State, who he's really important because he can play any of the positions, just in case there's an issue with depth or whatever, he can go anywhere. And I just feel like the offensive line they did a better job of getting kids in here than I thought that they would be able to, because everybody needs offensive linemen. And I feel better about that. And we've got the talent. We got speed. We've got athleticism.
City speed.
Yeah. I feel like we're there, Stevie. We've got a team that teams are going to have to, prepare long and hard for.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. When we're in Tuscaloosa, and if it's anywhere close, these fans, I'm telling you, are right now they're so used to dominating, and now, they may make the playoffs because they're Alabama this year, but I'm telling you guys, they're going to be sweating big time if it's anywhere close. Especially,
what
Bubba's got a good point.
Well, if he wear a hat, nobody would see it.
Yeah.
We suck. Exactly. Kind of
See
my
there?
point, Bubba.
What
I
are you
don't think we'll
talking
suck.
about, though?
I don't think we'll suck offensively all year, but I do think game
No,
one
he
we're going to
said
suck
we
offensively.
sucked offensively against Michigan, and we didn't get dominated at Michigan.
Exactly. That's my
The
point.
national champions.
That's my point. I don't think we're going to be ready on offense, and it's going to be a struggle.
Well, you also had a guy going out there that was afraid to throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field.
Absolutely about that. Yes.
Yeah, we were not ready at the quarterback position, and you see what happens.
I'm ready for
Well,
prime.
yeah, we didn't have a quarterback. That was the problem. And hey, no disrespect to Alex Flynn.
No, we didn't have a quarterback. You don't have to worry about it. Are you guys going? Are we going to what? Put that back up there?
Yeah, it's in August.
I'm not. Dave probably is.
Yeah, I'll be
Alan.
Yeah, Alan and I are going to go, and we're going to cause havoc.
All right.
We were never ready on offense, and we knew we wouldn't be in the Michigan game. Yeah, that's true. I mean,
yeah. Well, Holton said. Well, maybe let me rephrase that. I was told, because I didn't hear him say it. I was told Holton said that if we start Garcia against Michigan, we're going to get killed. So, yeah. I didn't hear him say that, so I don't want to say Holton said it. I was told Holton said that. But, yeah, anyway. So, let me ask y'all this. I was about to ask y'all this. This is not going to be official score predictions. But what score against Bama would everybody feel like, all right, you feel good about things? We did well, and let's get ready to beat App.
I'll start it off. I think the 25.5 is too high. I think we're because we're not a name brand in the world of that. I think it's going to be. I would definitely take the points. So anything less than the 25.5, I would say if it's 14, 21 points in that range.
I definitely think we're going to cover 25. I realize why it's 25, but I don't think they're going to beat us by 25. I really don't. I have no prediction, but I'm looking at maybe a 35, 24, 23, 24.
Are you saying 21-17 final, Brandon, or 21-17 points? What were you saying, Alan?
I think it'll be somewhere in the 11 to 15 point range.
Another thing you got to realize too, there's two things that could happen here. Well, one thing that could really happen here, Alabama being Alabama and be looking at us like little ECU could go in there overlooking us. And you know what happens when you overlook people? People slip up on you. Look at Michigan State or Michigan, and App State back in the day.
Yeah, App had won 2 straight national championships.
Oh yeah, but still, did you really think they were going to beat Michigan?
I did not.
I didn't give it much thought, honestly.
Do you think any of them Michigan players thought they were going to lose that game?
No, of course not.
Alabama's going in there thinking this is going to be a cakewalk like every first game. So
well, I do think, though, Stevie, that Alabama did not finish the season very strong or impressive at all. And I think they really recognize that fact and want to, show their fans that they're good, that they're
yeah,
that
but
they're
JR,
better.
you know them going into week 1 against ECU.
I think they're going to take ECU.
All we got to do is walk on that field. I've seen
I don't
it.
think, yeah.
And I've seen it. I've been on both sides of that where my team thought all we got to do is walk on that field or we're going to win.
Yep.
And
if they think like that, then we could.
I'm not saying by any means we're going to win, but I'm still sticking to what I said.
Who does Alabama have week 2?
Is it South Carolina?
It's an SEC game.
South Carolina, I think. Let me look at it again. Hang on.
Okay. Well, if it's an SEC game, that plays to our benefit. But here's what I think, and Bubba said it best, depends on how it looks. But in my head, anything from that 25 point or less, if they barely cover or don't cover, and as long as we play well, I'll feel good. Like, let's say it's 28-14 late in the third, and then they get a couple late touchdowns where our offense just won't on the field enough, and our defense got worn out, and it ends up, there's different ways. I remember when West Virginia absolutely. I remember when West Virginia. Absolutely, that's what the mute button's for. Though. I remember when West Virginia absolutely annihilated us, and when Skip Holtz was here, we had a really good team, and we lost like was it 08? Was it 07? It was one of our really good teams, and we lost like 42-14.
Yeah.
But you could tell that we were a good team. Sometimes good teams get blown out. UTSA last year, who the hell saw that coming?
Exactly.
You're thinking about 07. I think it was 48-7 West Virginia.
And we were a good team, yeah.
Way
and
to
we
go.
won the following week against a decent opponent. I don't remember who it was.
We beat Houston.
There you go. Okay. So
it was complete domination. Yeah, you just have those games where it's not, as my dad would say. He says you're thinking 2006, Cal. But it's not your game.
No, I think it was 7. I
Well,
think
it's 7
right.
because
06 was in Greenville.
Yeah, 06 was here, and that was a fairly competitive game. 07 was a blowout.
Yeah, love to have them. He said it was 17-10 late.
Yeah, the 06 game, yeah.
06 went up 27-10 or something like that.
31-10.
In 06?
Yeah, I think so.
I think.
Yeah, that's what he just. Yeah,
they put it away late.
Yep, and then the next week we beat Virginia.
Oh, that's right. We did get the
Yep, on
there was an off week in between actually, and then we beat UVA.
Yeah, on CSTV.
Yeah, I was. Go ahead.
Kenny's talking about that. As long as we don't get embarrassed, that should be another big motivation factor for our team. We're on ABC. What the noon game?
Yeah, I guess.
What do you guess?
Because
opening week.
All right, I'll tell you why. Because ABC don't mean shit to these kids. They stream, and so a game being on ABC or ESPNU or ESPN Plus, it's all the same to them.
But
it's all the same to them. They stream everything.
You're going to Alabama.
Yes, from that aspect, they're going to be fired up.
You're playing week 1, 12 o'clock noon game on ABC.
I don't think the ABC part does much for them.
I think it's a big deal.
Well, 12 o'clock on any freaking network, Kyle. I mean,
we're 12 o'clock the next week on ESPNU. Yeah. I mean, I don't think ABC means much to these kids.
But I mean, it means an awful lot to the fan base to be on a network and the eyes of the college football world.
It's great exposure if you play well. Absolutely.
Exactly.
I just don't think the kids care about ABC.
Well, let's get the kids on here.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3.
Dude, kids do not watch.
I tell you what,
on TV anymore. They don't.
I tell you what. At media day, let's ask that question. Do you care?
Oh, they're going to say yes. When prompted by the media, they're going to say, "Oh yeah, we." But I really don't think they care.
Most kids aren't watching college football, Bubba said, and I assure you, most aren't watching with ESPN.
Most kids stream stuff now, Bubba. Is what I'm saying. I mean, they're streaming. Is what I'm saying, Bubba. Particularly other college. Anybody that age streams is my point.
Well, they got to pretty much these days.
ABC does not mean any. Go ask your daughter if ABC means crap to her.
I know what you mean. I know what you're getting at, but I'm just saying that's
for our program.
You're not playing. You're playing on.
Yeah, but you're talking specifically about the players.
You're playing on a network that's accessible to people without having to stream.
Yeah, exactly. That is a big deal. That is a big deal. That is a big deal, but not to a 19-year-old kid.
Look, for the fan standpoint, check this out. You have Alabama fans. You have a lot of East Carolina fans that are going to watch. And you have a lot of people that are going to watch because it's college football and maybe their team hasn't played yet.
Yes, I agree with all that. The statement was asked the kids should be excited because it's on ABC. And I'm telling you, the kids don't give a damn that it's on ABC. Not the program, not the fans, not exposure, the players.
It's going to be a Ric Flair Sting night, ain't it, Kyle?
It is. It is.
Bubba says, I agree they're watching either way, but if they're watching on ABC before ESPN.
They all watch on the ESPN app. It doesn't matter what it's on. They all watch on the ESPN Unlimited app.
Woo, Kyle.
I guarantee you, every one of those kids that watch college football watch on the ESPN Unlimited app. I guarantee it.
Yeah, we're on.
So it doesn't make a damn.
What about the kids that can't get that ESPN Plus app, though?
Well, then, yeah, I'm sorry for them. But I'm just telling you, ABC, to you and me, and to Dave, and to JR, and to all God's children over the age of 30, ABC means something. What I'm telling you is to kids today, ABC don't mean diddly squat.
ABC might be the Jackson 5 as far as
you and me and ABC.
ABC is easy as 1, 2, 3.
That's it. It's great exposure for the program itself. Fans are going to love it, and the eyes of the college football world are going to be on East Carolina.
Kenny, I think people are misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm going to make this very clear one time. I'm going to make this very clear. Take that off. Quit with the comments on the screen for a minute. Quit with the comments on the screen for a minute. I'm going to make this very clear. It is a big deal to play the 12 noon game on ESPN from an exposure standpoint, on ABC rather, from an exposure standpoint. Linear TV is still the most consumed form of television out there, but it's by people from 30 plus, really 40 plus. Most people stream now, and I'm telling you right now that teenagers and 20-somethings are watching on ESPN Unlimited. That's how they're watching the games. So whether it's ESPN Plus or ABC, they're getting it from the same place, ESPN Unlimited. So what was formerly ESPN Plus. So I'm telling you, to kids, to the players playing on ABC, except maybe because their grandma can watch it, doesn't matter to them. By and large, I don't think that matters to them. Now, being a high-profile game against Alabama, meaning all eyes are on you, yes, they will have that concept. Is it good for the program if we play well to have a game at 12 noon on ABC? Absolutely. Not trying to say it's not. That would be an ignorant argument. What I'm telling you is I don't think kids in 2026, unlike kids in 1996, are going to get that excited about playing on ABC. They will be very excited about playing Alabama, though.
Will they be excited to play on December 5th on ABC?
They'll be excited to be in the conference championship game.
Right, but it is still a big deal. I do agree with you about streaming overall, but as far I will say this: there's a lot of people now that don't have cable television anymore. That's a thing of the past. So you and I can agree on that. And also, something you've said many times, which I agree with you on, is that these conferences need to look at East Carolina, how many eyeballs we have on streaming, because we have a lot of people that stream, especially when it's ESPN Plus.
I think it's a way to count true eyeballs versus media market, and with streaming. So
he says it does matter for young men to say we played Alabama on ABC.
Go ask them, Kenny. I mean, I'm just telling you, Kenny. If you got any kids or grandkids, ask them if it means anything to them. So ask them ABC. Ask your kids or grandkids to name 3 shows that come on ABC right now. Bet you $100 you can't do it.
I can't even do that. Say my wife and kids.
What is that new one?
I don't even come on no more.
That's my wife and kids.
That's old.
Family Matters, Full House, and Perfect
Three's
Strangers.
Company, Happy Days, Dynasty. Have you talked about retro ABC?
Where do you fall in on this?
Well, because I feel like, Kyle, it's not a negative to play on ABC. There's no way. I know you're not, but you're so.
I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. The kids don't, but it doesn't matter.
That was the question that was posed.
But okay, but you answered it, and then now we're going on 10 minutes now, talking about why kids don't like ABC or why it doesn't matter to them. And I agree with you on that, by the way.
That was the point. Okay, that's the end of the discussion then.
I know. I just don't see where it's a positive to play on ABC. Whether the kids think so or not, that's a different story. But
he's talking about the players not being excited about playing.
I get it, Dave. But we're going on like 10 minutes now talking about how the kids don't like. They don't care. It doesn't matter to them, and I agree with that. But I mean, there's only so many ways you can say it.
Come and knock on our door.
Oh, wow.
We've been waiting for you.
Oh man, Kyle is right. Move on. Justin Hardy has having a decent night for Ottawa.
He's
All right.
been having a good season. I mean, not just a good night.
Brandon says, "How do you think App State will handle playing two rivals back to back? They have at East Carolina and the following."
It's actually, no, you're wrong. It's three rivals. It's at East Carolina, Charlotte at home, then at NC State. Three rivals in a row. I would say they better beat Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in shock, by the way. Speaking of streaming, and then we'll talk more about football, I was really surprised that I knew it was coming, but now Hulu is 100% under the umbrella of Disney Plus. So,
yeah, that's been coming for a while now. The apps haven't merged completely yet, but that Disney owns Hulu. So,
App State plays what, Maine, the first game, Kyle?
Yeah, they play Maine, which, I don't like that. They're going to have a chance to get their offense going. But Maine's not a bad FCS program, so who knows?
Yeah, they could be coming into us 0-1. So
probably not, but Maine could give them a game. Years ago, Maine upset Mississippi State. That was many, many moons ago.
Well, we definitely know they're good. And guys, I'll tell you what, I'm just excited overall. I think, by the way, help me out, JR. But I'm really excited about the recruiting guru that we got from Georgia. I was really happy at seeing about that because I think that we've done an excellent job of recruiting, and it doesn't hurt rather to have another lady, but this case guy that will help us out.
That's huge. And plus, not to mention the fact that Georgia's dominating. Well, Florida's right up there with it, but between Georgia and Florida, I mean, we're getting more recruits from those two states than any other state other than North Carolina, obviously. So, I mean, there's a lot of. You should see some of the facilities in Georgia. Well, Matt would know. He sent us a video from Calhoun, Calhoun today. Yeah, and I've seen Buford, and I mean, I've seen some other high schools down there. It's big time. High school football's big time in Georgia. There's a lot of elite talent coming out of there, and so it's awesome to have that connection for sure. I feel good about that.
Yeah, is he going to primarily be in charge of evaluating high school talent, or is he going to be involved in evaluating portal talent, or both?
I would assume both, but I think his specialty is high school.
Okay.
Yeah, for me personally, I love the way that Blake is still going after the high school recruits. I know I've said it before. To each his own, but I don't like. I'm not saying to do the Dabo to ignore portal, but I really like the fact you've got to have a foundation. And Stevie, you being a coach at the high school level, you know how that this is important to build your program, and the way you build your program is by having a nucleus of players coming in every single year. Nobody's saying to ignore the transfer portal, but I just don't like the idea of just Biff Poggi getting like 1 million players and the next year they're gone. The coach is fired. I mean, not that Blake will be, but you know what I mean.
Well, that's the nature of the beast now. I mean, it's what it is right now. You've got to adapt to that transfer portal, and I think it's taken some coaches some time to do it, but it's a whole different ball game now.
Yeah, let's be honest. This is a very important year in the career of Blake Harrell. If Blake Harrell comes out this year, we win 8-9 ball games. He is going to be a very hot commodity going into 27 and beyond. So this, as far as Blake Harrell's coaching career goes, this is a big year for him, and where he goes from here or doesn't go from here.
Well, this is Blake's first 100% this is his team. This is all, mostly his recruits.
Yep.
Everybody on this team from the portal, he and his staff would have picked. This is completely his staff. No run, very few people left over from the Mike Houston staff at this point, and, particularly on offense. So, and then, you talk about coaches adjusting to the portal era and managing high school recruiting. Yeah, I wonder, if it's almost to Blake's advantage that he came in as a head coach while all this mess was going on versus being a head coach in it beforehand.
I thought about that too, Kyle. The fact is like for him, he doesn't have.
It's normal. I mean, he was an assistant prior, but not head coach.
Yeah, and I tell you what, guys, we talked about it ad nauseum, but the schedule is conducive to a good year. And not to say that we're playing easy teams, but I'm telling you, I've seen other guys say it. I think it's on the conservative end to say 9-3. I really feel that strongly about this team. And
conservative to say 9-3?
Yeah, because I could make a case for more than 9 wins, but I think that it's Alabama and 2 losses in the conference. I just don't know. I mean, I'll have to look at the schedule and really study it more, but I think it's going to be 3 losses altogether.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably say 8-4, but who knows?
Well, hey, that's still Pirate football. We're not talking about when you have, I think
the schedule is very conducive, but I think it's also tougher than people realize. You got App State as a rivalry game after Alabama. After that, you got ODU, who was a 10-win team last year on the road in Norfolk, Central. Rice is a triple option team coming in here. You got back-to-back Thursday games with Memphis and UAB. You got South Florida in an important game on a Friday night. You got a rivalry game with Charlotte. Tulsa's in there. They're going to be much improved. Army, of course, is going to be a solid football team. I think the schedule's a little tougher than people realize. Take away Alabama. I expect a lot of close games. I really do. I think the Pirates will win more than they lose. But I see a lot more close games than what we had last year. Last year we had a lot of blowouts in our wins, and then we got blew out once. But I expect to see a lot of close football games this year, which isn't a bad thing. I think it'll keep people in the stadium more. Me and JR were having this conversation yesterday. I think it'll keep people in the stadium more, having more close games.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, when you look at it, the one question mark I would have, not question mark, the one concern I have because being football is just injuries. If we have a year where we have not saying obviously I want that. Justin Hardy just got a TD, guys, in Canadian football. But anyway, for us to be able to win those games, obviously we're going to have those guys. And that's the one thing that you never know, just like we had with baseball. You just never know if we're going to get bit by the injury bug and a whole bunch of guys go down. Again, obviously I don't want that, but that's a part of the game that sucks.
Yeah, no, injuries are always a problem for everybody. I mean, they're going to happen. You're going to have some injuries. It's just next guy step up and keeping them at a minimum. Guys, we were talking about it in the group text and we promoted it. To name our 3 favorite wins in August and September, early season wins. You guys want to do that now, or we want to talk more about the season before we get into that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
All right. So who wants to start, guys?
I'll lead off.
Stevie Fly. These are your 3 favorite wins from August and September.
Well, I'm going to start off with just one, and I'll come back to the other 2. I'll just let it go. Why don't we just let it go around the horn?
All right, so we're going to do – okay. All right, so you want to do – everybody do one and then come back. Okay.
My first one's probably going to be the oldest one of anybody. It's 1983, coming off that tough loss to Florida State, 48-47 in the opening week. Come back, go to Raleigh, get a big win over NC State, 22-16. Ernest Biner had a great game, but Ed Emery, that was just the start of a great season for ECU. Well, I think lost by combined 3 games by combined like 13 or 14 points to all Florida teams, and probably should have won a couple of those games they lost.
Yep.
But the Miami game was one they probably should have won. I think it was what was his name? Nord Van in the back of the end zone. They ran. The two ECU players ran into each other on a pass.
Yeah.
And it could have been a touchdown. So, but yeah, that right there, and that was kind of in the end of '82. I started really because I had to listen to it on the radio. I was, being in. I'm sure Bubba will appreciate it. Being in a town of 64, we didn't have cable TV, so I had to listen to these games on the radio, which I loved it. I really
Frank Gardenia.
Yes.
And remember, Steve, we won the last 3 games of the '82 season, so we came into '83.
We were on a hot streak. I mean, everything was looking really good going into that season. So, and then to just come a hair with them beating Florida State. I remember Henry Williams had a big game that night. That was kind of when Henry Williams came into prominence. But getting the win over NC State, and then seeing how the rest of the year went, that's going to be one of my wins in September. Yep, Van and Stephon out. That's right. You're right, Bubba.
Yeah, that 83 season, by the way, if you guys remember, ranked number 20th in the nation. We should have played in the Peach Bowl.
Go to a bowl.
Politics played it back. That's why
I don't know how in the world we didn't at least end up in the Independence Bowl or something.
I don't have a clue, but I got
it's local politics, bud.
After that game, we won 5 in a row. After we lost the opener,
Jim Woods.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, that's one of the best seasons we've ever had for sure. We had 9 guys that went to the USFL, the NFL, or the CFL. It was like the most we've ever had.
I remember I still got the program from '84 in here with all the ECU players that went to pros, and that team had the majority of them in there.
Yep, great year. That was Ed Emery's, I believe, 4th year in '83, and they really got it rolling. And then he stumbled in '84, and Art Baker came in after that.
Yep. Yeah, and going back and speaking of Art Baker, he gets a bad rap because we were playing Murder's Row, and of course the title was "We're going after the best," and I like that. I don't like that. I would say now, obviously, I'm not saying to play 4 really hard non-conference games, but back then, of course, we were independent. We just had to get like the teams we could play.
We started '86 with like State, West Virginia, Auburn, and Penn State or something like that in the first 4 games. That's brutal.
Yeah, we had Miami on that schedule too, I think.
Yeah, but whoever wants to go next.
I'll go. My first one is going to be more recent than that, but
sorry, I'd heard 9. So
I'll go 08. We opened up the season by upsetting Virginia Tech in Charlotte, but the following week is the game I want to mention.
Yeah,
West Virginia coming into Greenville. Pirates just dominate them. One of those games where you're hoping, can you pull off 2 in a row? And then, that stadium was just electric. One of the best atmospheres I've ever seen at Dowdy-Ficklin. And we just dominated them for 4 quarters. They were ranked, 15th maybe, something like that. And just the dominant performance by the Pirates. And fans rushing the field. And, of course, the unfortunate negative memories of the security, the off-duty police beating up the fans. But besides that, that West Virginia game in 08 is just being there in person.
I don't remember that.
Are you serious?
I don't remember that, really?
You don't remember the incident with the police, the off-duty police and security beating up the fans that stormed the field? Oh, my God. Yeah, it made national news, Dave.
Yeah. I remember the victory very much so. I remember that game and everything. I just don't remember that. But
that is crazy that you don't remember that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that one is one that just being there, being on the field afterwards. Thankfully, I didn't get beat. Is a great memory. And one of my favorite wins in ECU history. And I should have looked up the final for that game. It was something like 31-7 or something.
It was 24-3.
24-3. Okay, thank you, Alan. But that one would be in my top 3.
Bubba's got 99 Miami, of course, in the Hurricane Floyd Bowl, and 95 Syracuse. Another good game.
Both good picks, and one of those will be coming up later.
Yep.
Kenny was talking about it. Said it was horrible. He said, "Saw it with my own eyes." I got to go back and check that out. Not that I want, like to have that in my memory bank. I don't know where I was, how I missed that, but anyway. And Bubba says yes, it was absurd.
Yep.
And I think now that's exactly why, like they just tell them like to get out, like just get out of the way. Like that, we don't need any bad.
Exactly. But,
all right.
I go.
Unless anybody else wants to go, I'll go.
Justin says,
"Yeah, that was mine. That's the one I was going to go."
Well,
with.
you'll still get to talk about it, JR. Why don't we just go to JR if you're going to talk about that one? Go ahead. Segue.
Well, it was rough. It's rough. It was Ruff's debut, and then also it was Lincoln Riley's debut as the OC, and it was Lincoln Riley's 27th birthday, I believe, and it was a shootout. I mean, it was G.J. Kinney for Tulsa, and Dominic Davis. Kinney threw 399, 5 touchdowns. Davis 383, 5 touchdowns, and this was a walk-off. That's what I like most about it. It's the first game of Ruff's tenure, and the final was what was that, 51-49, but the winning touchdown came on the last play of the game when the freshman Justin Jones had to leap for that pass in the end zone, a 33-yarder, and to end the game. That was just a great way to start Ruffin's tenure and celebrate Lincoln Riley's birthday, and the freshman making that play, and Dominic Davis matching G.J. Kinney every step of the way.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with Tulsa.
Yep. Remember, Justin Jones was 6'8", so he had to use every bit of that 6'8".
And he did, because he still had to leap to get that.
Yeah.
That was one of those moments where you're there and you don't even believe it happened. You're sitting there and you Jones makes the catch and you doubt that it even happened. And then they took it to replay, and so just for a moment, you're like, oh God. And really looking back, there was nothing to replay. But that was an unbelievable moment. And fun fact about that one, does anybody remember that was the first game of the Boneyard and the bleachers kept breaking?
Wasn't that a Sunday game too?
It was.
Yep. It sure was September 5th.
Yep. And I've still got the Ruffin McNeil show from the following night, and I listened to it not too long ago.
That is cool.
That was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. No, that was a. I can tell you stupid things you remember. I don't know if you guys are like this or not, but I can tell you what I ate for dinner after that game. I can.
What I told him yesterday.
You damn right I can't, Stevie. But Alan, you want to go next?
Yep. I will go back to my freshman year of college, September 7th, 1985. At that time, it was the largest crowd ever to watch a football game in the state of North Carolina. And we beat NC State 33-14 under Art Baker in 85. We won our first 2 games, did not win another game the rest of the year. But I remember very well. I remember the running back Tony Baker had a big game, but I was there, and there was over 58,000 people there, and we beat State. And 2 years later, that's probably on somebody's list as well, when all the goalpost stuff happened and pissed off Jim Valvano. But 85, September 7th, 1985, beating NC State 33-14. That's my first one on my list.
I want to say I was at the next week's game.
We'll say it.
Texas State that year, because I was like, my cousin was actually
we beat Southwest Texas State.
My cousin
is that now just Texas State? Is that who that is?
Texas State now. Yeah.
Wow, that'd be a Pac-12 versus American game now.
But my cousin was a manager on the team, and we actually got to go up in the dorms where the players were. I don't know if you guys remember a quarterback they had that was came in that was supposed to be a lot of hype, but Burke Holtzclaw. He was supposed to have a rifle, and he never panned out. He walked right by me, and I remember that was the first time I really saw a college football player up close. That guy was huge for a quarterback, and I was like, "Holy crap!" But
And
yeah,
if you remember, that was the season we won the first two and went to Penn State and stayed with them all day long.
Yeah,
lost like
17-10
or something like that. Yeah,
I remember listening to that on the radio. I listened to the whole thing on the radio. Then they had the call-in show. This was way before fifth quarter with Kyle. But yeah, I called in on that radio show that day.
Oh God, Stevie,
back in 1985, boy, I was already calling the radio show.
How old were you? 8?
12.
Oh, okay.
Age.
Well, take it. It'll make you younger.
That's all right.
Dave, your turn.
Dave's not here.
Dave's not here, man.
Each and chunk.
All right, Stevie, back to you then.
Well, they took my one with Tulsa, and then Alan talked about my third one, which is the 87 NC State game where, ECU, it was actually, if you remember, ECU led at the half 13-7, and State came out the first possession of the second half, drove right down the field on them, made it 14-13, and after that, State went to I can't hold on to the ball turnover mode, and the next thing you know, I think Jared Moody had a big game that night. He had a couple of touchdowns. ECU defense forced turnovers, and it is up 33-14. And, what happened after the game pretty overshadows a really dominant ECU performance on that field. But, man, and ended the rivalry until the Peach Bowl in 91. But, yeah, just a good win for ECU that night.
Remember Eric Kramer? Eric Kramer was the quarterback for State.
You sure? I think it was Montgomery, though.
Are you sure? I thought it was Eric Kramer.
Kramer had gone by then. Kramer was maybe. Let me look it up. But I think Kramer was.
I thought Kramer. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought Kramer was a quarterback.
Hold on.
But either way, huge win for the Power City. Something they could beat NC State, and as you said, that was the one where the people rushed the field afterwards. There's multiple fights between ECU and NC State fans, and
we won those two.
Yeah, well, of course we did. And then NC State decided they weren't going to play us anymore, and took the Peach Bowl and legislation to make it happen. But who was the quarterback, Stevie?
Kramer was gone. He was in the NFL in '87. It was Shane Montgomery.
There you go. So
Kramer must have been 85. I was thinking about.
According to ChatGTP ECU trivia questions the other day, Shane Montgomery was quarterback for East Carolina when we won the Peach Bowl. So how about that? So guys, my number, I guess these aren't necessarily in order, but my second one I'll mention is, everybody's going to talk about beating UNC in 2014. I'm going to go with beating UNC in 2007. And beating them in 13 was good. Beating them in 14 was good. But 2007 in Greenville, the last second field goal, 34-31. Hartman had missed three field goals in that game, three field goals in that game, and just being in that stadium, feeling that energy. When I remember UNC lining up the kick, what would have been the go-ahead field goal with their really good kicker. And they botch the snap, and we tackle them. We get the ball back around midfield, and Pinckney goes to work, leads us down, sets up a chip shot centered field goal for Hartman. Hartman had missed 3. He hits the game winner. That place goes nuts. I don't know how in the world we didn't rush the field that night. Place goes nuts, sold out. I remember there was like a 14, 15-year-old boy beside me. I just grabbed him and hugged him. I don't know who he was.
Going to jail.
Yeah. So it was. Well, I was in my 20s then, so sorry. But whatever that means. But great memory, great moment. One of those. I cried. I remember sitting there in my seat, and I never saw the field goal until later. I literally could not look. Had my head down and waited for the crowd reaction. And the first thing I remember hearing above the whole crowd was Jessica screaming and grabbing me. and I jumped straight up and just started crying. Just 07, first time I ever got to see us beat the Tar Heels, 34-31. Never will forget that one.
Awesome. And that was Pinckney's first start. And,
It was, yeah, because he came in against Virginia Tech but didn't start, yeah.
Right, and he threw for 406 yards that day as in his first start, and he would never duplicate that. I mean, he had some great
other good games, but not that
great
good.
games, but he could never top that. And
I remember we lost to Southern Miss the next week.
yeah, but the thing also, Kyle, about that game is nobody could run the ball on either side. So CJ took over, through the air. He had that 70-yard touchdown reception and
on screen, yep.
2 touchdowns receiving, and that's a great choice by you. That's a great choice.
I agree.
Thank you. I appreciate it. JR, what you got?
Is it me already? Dave, how do we?
Dave's not here, man.
Dave's not here.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to talk about the one that you alluded to but didn't choose, was the 2008 Virginia Tech game. They were number 17 in the nation at that point at Bank of America Stadium, 72,000 plus. And that, without a doubt, is our biggest August win ever. I think we only have 4 wins in August. That's our biggest one ever for sure. And the thing about that game that was so satisfying is I just didn't like Frank Beamer. I know everyone thinks very highly of him, and he's, grab your lunchbox. But to me, he was a dirty coach. I felt like his teams always played dirty. I've never liked Tech. So that game was extra satisfying because we beat them, on the TJ Lee 27-yard block punt return. So we beat them with Beamer ball, and that was extra satisfying. And I think the only their offense was terrible that day. They couldn't get anything going. I'm talking about Virginia Tech, and Darrell Roberts had he had a 62-yard reception, and that was it for them. I mean, other than that, they had nothing going on. So I'll go with that game as my number 2.
Alan, are you next? Yeah, Alan, have you done 1 or 2?
You've just done 1.
No, I've done 2. I did Tulsa, and now.
No, I was asking Alan.
Oh, okay.
Yep. My number 2 is probably one that nobody's going to mention. 1996, going to South Carolina and beating the Gamecocks.
Oh, I like that. That's a good call.
And in a driving rainstorm.
Harley
rushed for 241 yards.
Either that or a million.
And remember, the running back on the other side was Deuce Staley for South Carolina. I think it was 27-7 was the final. My brother-in-law lived in Columbia. I'd never heard the word cock so much in my life.
Sure you hadn't.
In an hour period. It was cock this and cock that and go Cox, and we love cock. It just for all day long.
Clip it.
But it was 27-7. Nobody could pass the ball because it was so rainy and ugly. But Scott Harley went crazy, and nobody in Columbia, South Carolina, had any idea that little old East Carolina was going to go to Columbia and whip some tail that day.
Well, they ought to have. That was the 3rd year in a row we'd done it.
Yeah, but I mean that South Carolina team was ballyhooed, and it just that was a fun day because it was miserable. The conditions were miserable. But remember, Fran had happened a couple of weeks before that, and the players talked about, well, we practiced in the rain all the time, and yada 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 yada. But that was.
Didn't Harley have a big game against State in Charlotte in the rain?
He did. Yeah.
That was in the rain and sleet as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was in
That was Thanksgiving weekend '96.
Right. Yep. For sure.
Good call on that one, Alan, because not one that everybody's going to mention. Stevie, Dave, are you there yet? Dave's going to come in and hit us with all 3 hits at once. Stevie, you're next.
I'll have to go. I think that was in 2014. When we beat Carolina in 2014.
Yes. Well, we beat them in 13 too, but 14 is the one we put 7
14 is I was there. It was my daughter's first ECU football game, so that was kind of special to see the whipping we put on, because I remember we had gone down to get something at halftime, And about the time we came out of the tunnel going back into the going back to our seats was when Zeke Bigger intercepted the pass and took it back for a touchdown. And I mean, that crowd, my daughter just looked at me with the reaction of the crowd like, what just happened? I mean, but yeah, and then seeing the purple sky and watching the Carolina fans leave early, and it was
Perfect day.
and everybody saying we want 70 and getting it. That was great. And I mean, I've got the picture of it right here beside me at my desk. So yeah, that's always going to be one of my special ones right there.
I got that game and the West Virginia game on my wall in my bedroom.
Oh, I always got to top me, man.
I just said it's 2 games that were mentioned tonight.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite tailgates when I was with 107.9 and we were tailgating in front of Elmhurst. There was a lot of Carolina fans that came by and had some things to say, and I got some relatives that are big Carolina fans, love them to death, but they had no idea what was about to happen.
Every one of them went silent after that too. I'm sure you did.
Behind some Carolina fans, and it was you would have thought that they were going to a wake instead of leaving a football game for sure.
Yeah, they were a bit distraught after that ass beating. And Dave's not here to put the comments up on the screen, but Dave is back. Of course, his mic's not muted. Put Justin's comment up there, Dave. No, the one before that.
Oh,
VT.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. 2015, late September. I think it was really late September, if I remember right. We beat Virginia Tech. Hey, he was on ABC. And
oh wow, nobody would remember that.
Well, back then they did. Back then they did. But they beat Virginia Tech. That's a good one. That's one that we'll get forgetting about because we had a losing season that year.
Yeah.
But that was a fun game in a monsoon.
I was going to say that was a big rainstorm there too.
Yep, yeah. 35-28 was a fun.
Like Blake Kemp, it was like a tag team at quarterback that game, right?
Yeah, him and Summers. Yep, that was Summers'
Kemp
debut.
threw for 1 and ran for 1, and then Summers threw for 1 and ran for 2.
Yep, so that was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
So who the hell's Dave? We're just going to let Dave give his 3 altogether because
I gave my 3.
You've done 3 now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I thought you've only done 2.
No, that was his 3rd.
2 state games.
Okay, you just did yours. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so my number 3, and then I got some honorable mentions I'll mention later, but my number 3 is going to be an easy one. It's one that should be at the top of anybody's list, really, and it's almost too obvious, but nobody's mentioned it yet. Miami 99 in Raleigh after Hurricane Floyd. What all that whole September was fantastic. You beat Duke, you beat South Carolina, you're flying high. You beat West Virginia to start the season. I can't believe I forgot that. You're flying high, and then you get stuck in South Carolina for a week. Everybody knows the story. Everything's flooded in Greenville, and the guys do the impossible. Down big, 21-0 or whatever it was, and they score right before half. I think it was 24-0. They score right before halftime, make it 24-3 if I'm remembering right. And then in the second half, it's just complete domination by the Pirates, and you have Garrard to Stokes for the go-ahead touchdown, and the defensive stand at the red zone at the end of the game, and the Pirates upset the Miami Hurricanes in Raleigh and Carter Finley with everything going against them, tear down the goalpost. Top story on SportsCenter. Just a moment that I don't know anybody who had anything. You didn't even have to be a Pirate at that point. The whole nation was rooting for us. Everybody in Eastern North Carolina. Those guys beat the Miami Hurricanes after Hurricane Floyd, and it was just magical. That 99 game in Raleigh against Miami. Every cliche you can think of is how you describe that game, and one of the most memorable wins in ECU history, in a game that back in that time period when it was, if you didn't record the game, it was hard to get your hands on them. Jessica, actually, our first year we were dating in 2000, managed to get me a copy of that game on VHS back in 2000 from 99 of ECU Miami. So great memories of that one.
It's a shame she couldn't get a Wake Forest game.
Yeah.
No kidding. No.
But that is true love when your lady gets a VHS copy of a football game for you. That's
yeah. Exactly.
that's true love.
Well, apparently, it's been 26 years now.
Yeah, exactly. Something's working right. Yeah, Kyle, I'll give my first one, and my first
Well,
one.
hold on. Let's let JR finish his, and then
Okay.
This will be Alan. Have you got one left or two?
I had one left, but it's already been mentioned, the Tulsa game. So I'm
Okay. All right. So JR, give your last one, and then we'll let Dave give all three of his.
Yep.
All right, but then we can have some honorable mentions, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. I'm going to go post-COVID. And, we started off the 21 season with that game at Bank of America Stadium against App State where, we scored a touchdown right before halftime. Then they took it away. And that game I felt like, that game was much closer than it was. So then we went home and played South Carolina. I was at that game, and that was it Josiah Hatfield that threw the touchdown pass to get things started, and I thought we had a real chance to win that game.
We were 0-2.
We were 0-2, but we were better than that, and I just did not want to go 0-3. So we go, not a good scenario. We go to Huntington, West Virginia for a night game in week 3, and we ended up winning 42-38. And what I remember most is we were down by 17 points with 7.5 minutes to go.
Yes, in the red zone, but yes, you are correct.
Yeah, that's true. And then, I guess out of the 3 touchdowns we scored there to win it, this Snead to Ayler's 27-yard touchdown pass, that was just I just couldn't watch that enough over and over again. And then Keaton Mitchell had a really good day. I don't think he had a touchdown, but he just was really effective on the ground. I think he averaged like 10 yards a carry, had like 135 yards. So, it was just it wasn't a pivotal win, I guess, as much as some of the other ones we've mentioned.
I think for that season it was.
Yeah, I just felt like we really needed a win at that point. And we could have very easily been 2-1 or maybe even 3-0, that App State game. But so that's why I chose Marshall. And then we almost lost at home to Charleston Southern. They gave us a really good game.
That was a good one. That game, what I remember, 2 things I remember most about that Marshall game. One is when we scored the touchdown to cut it to 10, Marshall drove down the field right on us again, but then missed the field goal.
Oh yeah.
And then we come and then we come back and score again. And then the other thing is another special teams play. People forget to get that go ahead touchdown. We recovered an onside kick, which you do not see happen very often. That you recover an onside kick in those situations. And so 2 special teams plays is what sticks out most to me in that game. But I like that. That's a unique pick there, but I like it.
I remember the group text that we had between me, you, and Bubba during that time. With, oh my God, 0-3. I remember that.
Then just complete change of emotions. And I remember somebody, it was either me or Bubba one saying something like, "We're going to come back and win this game." Maybe I'm making that up in my head. I don't know if Bubba will remember that or not, but that's a good pick. Dave, give your 3, and then we're going to do honorable mentions.
Okay, I don't know if it's been. I'm sorry, guys.
If it's been mentioned, it's okay.
I am going Orange Bowl 1996.
Nope, has not.
No, you can't.
Huh?
That doesn't qualify, Dave. We're doing August and September.
Oh, that's right.
Was that game in October?
It was in October.
It was in October. You're correct. You cannot go to that game. That is right. That was in October.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. Okay. Man, oh man. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back and think.
Dave, did you not do your research?
Did you not do your homework?
I did games, but I forgot about the August, September.
Look at here, Mr. Richmond. Had it all written down.
Oh, look at
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was so.
The
Dave,
Carolina game.
You got nothing, Dave.
I mean, the Carolina game has already been mentioned, 70-41.
Well, there's the other Carolina game out there, though.
Into
2007 was mentioned also.
55-31. That was okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you talking about 13?
Yeah.
And 07.
Yeah. Okay. So
And
both of those.
14. Okay.
Yeah, off the top of my head. Wow. I'll have to. I'll think about it. I was thinking in my mind about my favorite games of all time. So let me. I'll have to think about it. Keep talking, everybody, and
All right. So honorable mentions. I'm going to go ahead and start with that one because it's so friggin' obvious for me. I got a few, but we'll do one at a time here. 97 Wake Forest. And that was late September also. Or no, that was early September. That was early September.
Yeah.
And so you beat the Demon Deacons. It's our first win against an ACC team in Greenville since the 70s or since the 60s. First time we had an ACC opponent in Greenville since the 60s. We come from behind. We're down 21-7. Come back and win that game. Just one that means a lot to me. And also, because I listened to it, I wasn't able to go that day, and I did not have Fox Sports South. I still have never been able to see that game again. If anybody has a copy of it, please let me know. Honorable mention to me, 97 Wake Forest.
When we get that game, we're gonna have to do a watch party.
We will. We'll do it. But 97 Wake Forest. Who wants to go next with the honorable mention?
I didn't have any honorable mentions because I didn't.
Kenny did. We'll do Kenny real fast.
We wouldn't have any.
Beating NC State and Pitt, two ACC teams at back-to-back bowl games, is his honorable mentions.
Has nothing to do with August and September.
No.
Absolutely nothing.
I've got an honorable mention from a couple of years that we often poo-poo, but remember beating State under Scotty Moe in 2016 in very exciting fashion.
Second game of the season.
That stadium was rocking, and it was packed to the gills.
Hot day that day too. I wasn't there. My sister got married that day. I had to watch that game on TV.
Yep, it was. I remember there was really nowhere to sit. This was the year before I started getting press credentials, or I didn't get them that year for whatever reason. We were packed in there like sardines.
Yeah.
Literally, I was sitting on the steps just to have somewhere to sit, and it was a great atmosphere. Obviously, things didn't go well from there at South Carolina the next week. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, what might have been if we had beaten South Carolina the following week, gone 3-0, who knows? But that State game in 2016 was very exciting.
Yeah, he's going to be most disappointing. Robert did. The Pirate lost.
You see, yeah. Again, we're doing favorite wins in August and September. But that was a good one. The NC State game, that was. Like I said, Alan, I couldn't go to that game. My sister got married that day. I was at her wedding. I had to watch the game on TV. But I always say we won that game because I did the right thing. I went to my sister's wedding.
That's kind of important.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch that game sometime. I had watched it, and I think I watched it once since then. I really need to go back and take a look at that game because that was.
It was back and forth. It was a great game.
Yeah, and Mo was 2-0 at that point. He could have run for mayor of Greenville at that time. We thought we'd found the whiz kid of all whiz kids that was going to take us.
I'll tell you what, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Kyle and I have talked about it. That South Carolina game, we had them beat on that third game. What was it? 3? Anthony Smith.
We turned the ball over 84 times in the red zone. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Yep. And still lost 20-15.
Dare, you said you had some honorable mentions.
Yeah, I'm going though. This is for entertainment purposes only. Just in trivia too. We start playing football in 1932, obviously.
Yep.
We didn't play a game before October until 1939.
Wow.
And that was a loss at Kutztown State, 20-6. But in 1940, we played one September game. It was our first September win as we got revenge on Kutztown State and won 14-6. So there you go.
That's your honorable mention?
That, and also, Wake Forest, I'm going back deep again. 1963, Wake Forest was the first team that we beat that was I don't even know the term, obviously an ACC school, but they were the first team that we beat that was on, what was the phrase back then? It was Division I, I guess, and we were.
I think it was called Major College and Small College.
Yeah,
There you go.
we lost the first game of that season and did not lose another game that season. Under Staff.
1963.
Stasovich.
63, we were 9-1 that season.
Yeah, and we beat Wake Forest 20-10 on September 21st.
Yep, did not lose another game.
I got another honorable.
The very first game in Ficklin Stadium was Wake Forest.
That's the game he's talking about.
Yeah. Yep.
I got another honorable mention. 2005, Skip Holt's first game against Duke. We had been so bad under John Thompson. Duke had been bad, but Duke came in here as a 6-point favorite against East Carolina in 2005 as we opened the college football season. And the Pirates beat Duke, and it just felt like old times, in that stadium from the dread of the John Thompson era to Skip's first games. That's another honorable mention for me for a September win.
Yep.
And speaking of John Thompson, I'll tell you one thing. One thing that's come out of that whole era is if you don't believe you need to spend money on coaching, ask the John Thompson era. They didn't spend hardly any money on coaching.
But if you actually look at that staff, Dave, a lot of those guys went on and did good things, like Rick Stockstill and several others.
Yeah.
So it's just
they did a great job recruiting. They recruited CJ.
Yeah. Another one I think deserves. There's several that I could go on all night with this, but Alan mentioned UVA. That's another good September win. In 06. One we haven't mentioned. Another one, Scotty Montgomery era. Dave, you were talking about UNC wins, but the debut of Holt after we lose to North Carolina AT&T, and the whole Pirate Nation is disgusted. We get the Tar Heels coming in here with about 21 players suspended off their team.
We're better than them. We're better than them.
And the Holt Nailers debut. No, that was the 2014 game. The Holt Nailers debut, and the Pirates beat the Tar Heels yet again. That was another very memorable September win.
Yep.
Dave, did you come up with anything, or are you just going to sit this one out?
I'll sit the rest of it out.
Hey, did anybody mention? I know Bubba's number 2 was the 95 win against Syracuse, 27-24. Has anyone mentioned that yet?
That was in the Carrier Dome, I remember.
Yeah.
No, we got down 28-7 and came back and won that game. I remember it vividly. But no, nobody's mentioned that. It was a huge comeback in the Carrier Dome. Marcus Crandall lit it up in the second half. Defense was lights out in the second half. That was a big one. I remember what I remember about that game. I watched that game at my grandparents' house at the Outer Banks, and I remember I was sitting at a certain place, like kind of on the floor watching the first half, and then I went and sat in a certain chair at halftime, and when we started coming back, I would not move from that spot the whole rest of the second half. And I got bad vision, I always have. I couldn't see good from where I was sitting, but I would not move from that spot because we were coming back.
That team wound up winning 6 in a row at the end of the year and going to the Liberty Bowl and beating Stanford, I believe.
Correct. Yeah, that 95 team was really good. The last East Carolina team, believe it or not, to finish in the top 25. We finished 23rd in the Coaches Bowl that year. Hard to believe we haven't finished in the top 25 since then, but we have not.
Yep, and the last time we've been in the top 25 was 2014.
If I remember, the only two we lost to Illinois and Tennessee that year.
Yeah, that Illinois game was a crusher.
Yeah.
And Tennessee was obviously at Neyland Stadium.
Yeah, the Illinois game was like 7-0 or
7-0,
something like that.
Well, the Tar Heels fans chanting A&T when they led early.
Yeah,
and they were leaving early fourth.
I guess if we did a show on most disappointing losses of all time, I think for me
A&T,
yeah.
In JMU, and also
in the midst of some A&T fans that day, that Sunday, by the way. Remember, it rained. It had stormed it out on Saturday, so we
I had
played
to work the next day. Yeah, I remember it very well.
Yep.
And the end of the 2014 season with UCF, with that debacle with the time management, is probably that's probably hurts the most.
Oh God, we're going to the most disappointing losses just of all time. I mean, that's a whole different topic.
Was that the Hail Mary?
Yes.
Yeah, freshmen won on a Hail Mary of the first game, and as seniors they lost on a Hail Mary.
Yeah, we can do that. That's a good topic for a different time, though.
Yeah,
I got one. I got one though from September. my most disappointing loss of September history, probably for me, it would be a forgotten game. 2006 at UAB, Philip Henry running in for the winning touchdown with 50 seconds to go against UAB and get stripped from behind.
Oh, wow.
And I almost threw up. I relived that play in my head the whole following week.
Oh man, yeah, I forgot all about that, Kyle. Wow. I had put that past. Wow, yeah, I forgot. UAB, that 99 team we had, we laid an egg. I think it was November 14th or something that year. I absolutely hated that because I thought for sure that year, we're going to win. We're definitely going to win, double digits. And you go down there, we did not show up for that game. And as much as I love David Garrard and company, man, that was just that was a bad
A
loss.
lot of bad memories at UAB. Robert Diedrich mentioned one I mentioned earlier as an honorable mention. Skip's first game, the win over Duke, was that was one we mentioned, Robert, and one that's definitely worth noting as a great September win.
Yeah, it just showed the difference in the culture, because even though it was Duke, the fact that ECU was able to win that game, because we'd only won 3 games in the previous 2 years. So whenever you have that was great.
Yeah, we needed something good to happen after what we've been through with Thompson.
Yeah, and Bubba mentions after that UAB game in 06, we overcame a 3-touchdown deficit against Memphis in the second half. That game was electric. You thought there's a notable that may have been October, but was that September?
No, that was September.
Yeah, late last, like almost October. God, that second half comeback against Memphis that day, that's one that in the Chronicles of ECU history that'll be forgotten. But what an electric game!
Yeah, we wound up winning that game like 35-21 or something like that.
Yeah, we just kept coming. Once we started coming back, we blew them out, or not blew them out. We put it away.
Yeah.
That was a fun game. Guys, we want to switch subjects and
Sure.
quickly talk about the concerts that we all went to this past week. So
I'll go ahead and mute my mic now since I'm out of this.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what.
I'm not in the cool crowd, so.
Well, you're always welcome, Stevie.
What?
You're the only truly responsible adult in the room. Steve.
There you go, Stevie.
Whoa, that's the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk about mine first, because you guys got several things to discuss because y'all went together. But I'll talk about mine first. Friday night, we went down to Charlotte for Turnpike Troubadours with Muscadine Bloodline. It was too damn hot to even pay attention to Muscadine Bloodline. Sun went down by the time Turnpike came up. I had a first. Let me tell you this. So I drank 2 double vodkas with cranberry and Sprite. Don't judge me. And guys, for 2 double vodkas, so that's 4 shots of vodka with cranberry and Sprite, $60, $60 friggin' dollars, unbelievable. But enough about the overpriced alcohol. Turnpike Troubadours is fantastic. If you ever have a chance to see Turnpike Troubadours, go see them. They have a very unique sound of southwestern country sound, Texas, Oklahoma influence, mixed with a little rock, mixed with a little bluegrass. They are fantastic, very unique sound. Got to see them live for the first time. Been wanting to see them live for 7 years now. Loved it. We had pit passes and also tickets in row 3. Thanks to the good people at Scholar for hooking me up when I let them know that I got the pit pass because of my vision, but I have neuropathy in my feet, and they said hook me up with row 3. We did have a Turnpike in the pit, row 3 for the second half of the show. Loved every minute of it. Want to go see them again. They're going to be in Raleigh. We're playing Rice that day, but they're going to be in Richmond on October 3rd, the weekend before Rice. I'd love to go see them again in Richmond. Turnpike Troubadours, maybe one of my top 3 concerts over the last 2 years. And I go to a lot of concerts, so that covers a lot of ground. Great show. By the way, great fans. People like Cody Jinks, Blackberry Smoke, and Turnpike Troubadours, they have a lot of kind of cult fans that go to a lot of their shows, and great fans. They were all super cool. Met a couple from San Antonio that had traveled up for the show and was going to turn it into a beach vacation in the Carolinas. They were super nice. A lot of beautiful girls. Got to say, man, probably the widest selection of pretty females from the late 20s to early 40s I have seen in a long time was at that concert. So just a great time. Venue, Scala is a great venue. Give you a tip, if you ever go to Scala Amphitheater for a concert in Charlotte and you pay to park, their ridiculous $23 parking fee, there is a bar and restaurant with a beach volleyball court right beside the venue. If you go in there and spend more than you paid for parking, they will validate your parking and you will get your parking fee back 100%. So there's no need not to. Go in there, have a couple of beers and something to eat, and you're going to spend just a couple of dollars more than you did on parking, and you get your parking for free. So there's a tip. If you ever go to a show at Skyla, go to the little bar and restaurant with the beach volleyball court right beside the venue.
Very cool. Yeah, we had a great time on Tuesday night. Thank you again, Alan, for driving. He did a great job as being our chauffeur, and Mike was very cool, really cool dude, and really impressed with his knowledge about the core reefer man. Johnny, we had a great time with Johnny. Also, I'm glad JR got to make it. And
I mean, that was a 50-50 deal for me, but I was like, I don't want to regret not going. But I'll be honest with you, I watched a video of them at the National Harbor a couple of days before, and I was not impressed at all. And I said to my wife, I said, you know what? At least it'll be a good road trip with some friends that I don't get to spend a lot of time with, but I'm not expecting much musically. And boy, I was proven wrong because they were just outstanding. Scotty Emmerich, one of their vocalists, I mean, he does Jimmy Buffett better than anybody that's living right now. I mean, you would think you were listening to Jimmy Buffett. And
so Mac McAnally doesn't do lead on all the songs?
No.
Yeah, what they did, I thought was really smart is they basically, it's like if you have five guys like we have on our show, instead of one guy talking the whole time, it's the same thing with singing. Mac is great, but I liked how they included everybody.
Will Kimbrough, he sang a couple. The female vocalist, she came from Arrested Development, that song Tennessee or Mr. Wendell. That's her. That's her in the with the background vocals of those songs, and she was outstanding. She did. What song did she do, Alan? The lead vocals on?
One Particular Harbor.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, I was going to get something to eat while they were doing One Particular Harbor, but I enjoyed it. First of all, it was a great time. I enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed the conversation. We had a good time. You guys put up with my jokes, which is good. 2 out of 40, which were funny, by the way. We were very lucky to get parked where we did. And JR, I'm telling you, I tried to call the venue a couple times.
Alan, I don't mean to cut you off, but JR told me you had trouble calling. And I should have told you this.
Yeah.
Anytime you're trying to get upgraded and you've got ADA requests, or and it doesn't even have to necessarily, because like I said, they gave me row 3. Email. There's go to the venue's website if it's a Live Nation venue, and there's a certain link you're going to click for accessibility questions, and they have to respond to that email within 24 to 48 hours. So always email them, and you're going to get a response.
Okay, but the lady Johnny went and got me. It was great. He said, "Come here." We went to the box office, and we told the lady what we needed. We said, "There's 2 of us that have issues, but there's 4 of us total." So the lady says, "Okay, wait, I'll be back." She was gone about 5 minutes. We thought she'd forgotten us. We were about to not to give up. People were behind us in line, and the natives were getting restless. But she came back with 4 row 4 passes, and it was an excellent time. There's a great breeze blowing off the water there at that venue. There's bar seating around the
VIP experience.
Wanted to sit at a table, and there were some tables available. It was a really, really good night. The sound was good. The cameraman was good until Johnny clocked him with the beach ball.
I was doing my beach volleyball thing like Kyle was talking about.
From there. And I will say this, I'm so impressed. JR, bless his heart, he's a man's man. He had to pee from probably when we left Wilmington all the way back to Mike's house in Winterville. He held it like a man, and I was so impressed. But he was dancing.
I think I did the drinking for all of us. So, I took that
How
hit
much
for
did you sneak some airplane bottles in, or did you spend a lot of money
I did.
to?
Yeah, I did for sure.
You
Yeah,
snuck some airplane bottles in. I might have snuck in something. We'll talk about that off the air.
Well, I knew that they had metal detectors, so I had to
yeah. Well,
choose
the cool thing was they
plastic
let us go.
tops.
They let us go around the metal detectors. I had Mike, and of course, but poor Mike's putting his hand on the metal detector and it's going off and whatever. He doesn't know any. So they let us go around the metal detector and go through. And we just got very lucky. And JR was very instrumental in helping. And I really
good job, Jr.
Yeah,
And I was
Dave didn't do shit, but
well, Alan. I will.
No, you know what? I want to give Dave credit. I'm sorry, Kyle. I cut you off, but I just wanted to say this before
He was Alan's joking.
people think bad about Dave. I don't know that we've discussed this or not, but Mike was 100. I don't even think he couldn't see at all. I don't even think he has eyes that are usable, does
Dave
he?
Dave was great with Mike.
And Dave, man, Dave, you really proved, your value as a friend, because you made sure that Mike, was led comfortably and kept out of harm's way. And Mike is an independent dude. Like, he doesn't, but he's blind. He can't see anything. So in that situation, he needed some assistance for sure.
It was not for Dave. Mike would have probably still been in Wilmington on Thursday.
Yeah.
But
no, Dave, you did a great job.
Yeah, you did, Dave. In all seriousness, you did. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
He was a really good dude, first of all. And then, like I said, while he said, "Where's Alan and JR and Johnny?" I said, "They're trying to get the tickets for us." But he and I kept talking about trading stories about Jimmy Buffett. And I have to say, when you first mentioned this about the concert a couple months ago, I was a little bit skeptical because I really love Jimmy Buffett. And I was like, you know what? The patriarch of our the party, if you will, of Margaritaville has passed away. And the only way that we're going to be able to hear these songs as far as is going to be with CRB, with Coral Reefer Band. And so I thought they did great. They only had a 20-minute intermission. By the way, Kyle, the beer started at $16.50.
Yeah, like I say, I just spent $60 on 2 double vodkas.
You could add a shot though for $5, Dave.
Yeah,
the pizza was $27.
That's a bargain.
But it was a full size pizza.
Yeah, that was a big pie. That was
it was.
By the way, and Alan, I was going to share a bottle of wine with Alan, but that was $40, and
they had.
It wasn't a bottle; it was a carafe.
They had Chateau Mad Dog, which was a little bit cheaper. But
I also wanted to mention that they also had just lost their steel pan player, Robert Greenwich, who passed away less than a month prior to that concert, and his little brother stepped in, Roger Greenwich.
He was good
and did a pretty good job.
What is up with this when we go to concerts? When me and you and Stevie and Jessica went to see Steel Woods, Blackberry Smoke, one of their guys was out and one of their sons filled in.
Yeah, that is a good point, Kyle. And the last point I want to make about the concert is the young women. I thought it was going to be a geriatric crowd, and there was some of that, but there was a lot of young kids there, like 20s and 30s, mostly
be clear on that one. Be clear on that when you say young
kids.
The couple of young ladies that stood in front of us, they were having a good time, and the guy standing beside the young ladies was having a better time.
Yeah, there was 2 young ladies at the Turnpike Troubadour concert. I had quite a bit to drink and was let's just say I had quite a bit of drink. Leave it at that. And my big ass will start dancing, and I was dancing. And this girl typed me on my back and says, "I'm obsessed with you. You're dancing and just having a ball." And I still don't know if they were making fun of me or being genuine, but either way, I'll take it, ladies. And so I'm like you, 2 different concerts, JR, but a lot of good-looking girls at the Turnpike show also. What's the concert? Is that like a parade? Matt, you got to come outside for a concert in the South, outside. You'll have a ball. It ain't the same as being in MSG.
Like last when we were there Tuesday night, you're right near the Cape Fear River to your left.
Oh, that was
and
awesome.
that breeze coming off that water. I was worried that it would be so like hot, like humidity.
Oh
Like
God, it was at Turnpike. Jesus Christ.
we got lucked out on Tuesday night. It was a lot better on that. Alan getting the parking space. He just said, "The hell with it. We are VIP. We're going to park there." And
Wilmington is smart with their two venues. Now, the lawns issue at Live Oak needs to be fixed because if you get lawn tickets, it's flat. You can't see it at all. But Live Oak, you're right. It's an outside venue in Wilmington. It's on the water, so you get breeze off the water. Their other live venue outside is called Greenfield Lake, and it is completely submerged. Like it goes down. It's like a stadium seat, and it's like they dug a hole in the ground, and it's completely surrounded by trees. So two great venues to be in Wilmington for hot summer days. They did a great job both those venues. Because you think Wilmington in July, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah. Kyle, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
All right. So if I go in my backyard in Greenville that time of night, I get eaten alive by no-see-ums and whatever else is flying around out there. No bugs whatsoever. Do they spray? Do you think? I mean, is it?
They would have to. I've never ran into. Well, where you are at Live Oak, you're on the river, kind of towards downtown Wilmington, so they probably spray that whole area.
You're right, JR. I hadn't thought about that.
And I would imagine at Greenfield Lake, which is kind of in a residential area, they would have to spray. Yeah, because out here, you go out to the yard here at night and it's mosquitoes, it's gnats.
Gnats.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
It's the
by
year.
the way, no gnats works great. If anybody looking for something for gnats.
The biggest gnat thing I've ever been through was at the Greenville Town Common when they did the Sunday in the Park things.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. The gnats were, I've never seen them so bad.
Oh, man,
they were horrible.
And no gnats is great. You can order it on Amazon. You can also buy it, I know, locally at Big Blue, and it works.
You said no
Alan,
gnats.
No gnats. It
Alan,
works.
the first Greggy and the Jets concert that was at the Pavilion, the gnats were so bad. I had my dog with me, Boone, and I had to leave early, even though the show was great, because he was just being tortured. And I couldn't put him through it. So
we had bug spray, and it didn't seem to make any difference.
No, that was brutal. Brutal.
I guess I'll tell you this: you guys mentioned you had to pee, Jr. from Wilmington to Winterville. I didn't have to pee at all. I drank, and on top of the alcohol, I drank a lot of water. It was so damn hot at that amphitheater in Charlotte, in the middle of downtown Charlotte, where there was no breeze Friday night. Probably even at 9 o'clock, it was still in the 90s. I sweated so much, and alcohol dehydrates you more. I didn't pee when I first got to the venue. I went and peed. I didn't pee the whole rest of the time I was at the concert. It did not have to pee again until I got home, and that's a 4-hour drive, almost anyway. So I was pretty much dehydrated.
Dave went after the concert, and I was amazed. He was in and out of there in like 18.3 seconds. He got 4 tires, a wedge adjustment, and a fill up, and he was back out, man. I don't know how he did it, but I was very impressed.
Well, when you
very impressed.
Gotta go, and I knew Alan. It was like he ain't stopping, man. He ain't stopping. He is not gonna stop.
That's not true. I would have stopped anywhere you needed to if somebody had said I need to. If JR had said, "Man, I gotta go,"
I bet you if he had said, I bet Dave. I bet if you'd have said, "I'm on," I bet if Dave you'd said,
I wouldn't do that to him.
I bet Dave. I bet if somebody would say, "I'm gonna piss in your car if you don't stop," he'd stop.
We'd lose somebody. Okay.
Yeah, we lost Stevie. He had to go.
Yeah,
okay.
Alan can't hear me.
Since 5 a.m.
I got you. Well, I think I can hear you guys. I heard.
Can you hear me, Alan? So. Tell Alan he can't hear me.
Can you hear Kyle?
No. I'll come back in.
All right, that's a strange thing.
Yeah.
Well, when he didn't react to me saying, "I bet you if somebody said they were going to piss in your car, he would have stopped doing something." I figured he couldn't hear me.
Yeah, we knew.
Yeah,
but,
it was a great.
But anyway, I guess I'm glad you guys had fun. I wish I would have went just to be with you guys, but then Mike would have been able to go. So I go to enough concerts, so I'm happy Mike got to enjoy it. Glad you guys got row 4. One more thing I do want to say about the concert I went to for anybody that cares. The fiddle player for Turnpike Troubadours is unreal. That dude, his name's Kyle, by the way. So of course he's awesome. But he just go, even if you don't know who they are, just to watch them play fiddle.
Gotta have a fiddle in the band, Kyle.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're going to play in Charlotte, you got to have a fiddle in there.
And the Coral Reefer Band, there was like 18 people on stage.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ! Yeah, I think
Seriously.
they're a 6-piece band, maybe 7 actually.
There's 12,
It was
there's a
18.
12-piece
Good
band
God!
and 2 backup singers.
Yeah, they had Dora Grisham, who's one of the most famous steel guitar players of all time. He played with Buffett. He's played on every country song you can imagine. He was there, and he did the Reefer Band's musicianship was top notch. It really was.
That's one thing I was going to say that I really enjoyed. And Kyle, I know that Johnny and Alan, all of us are like music nerds. That is one of the tightest bands I've ever seen. And I'm not just saying that because I really love Buffett, but not having Buffett was great, but you focused so much on Buffett when he was alive that I really had a deeper appreciation for the Coral Reefer Band. Mike Utley is not playing it, but his son Mick Utley is playing keyboards now.
Yeah.
Well, at least you can still say Mr. Utley.
Yeah, I did not realize it at the time, but the following day was Mac McAnally's birthday.
He's 67.
Yeah, didn't he had his first hit song in '77 when he was like 17 years old.
That's crazy.
Oh. Yep.
And Jimmy Buffett took him under his wing at 19.
He looked like a ginger Grizzly Adams at 17, didn't he?
Yeah, he's still got a ton of hair, doesn't he? For 67 years old, he's got a big mane of hair for sure. But he's a very talented guy. He's written a lot of songs, a lot of hit songs for other people.
Yeah, and had a somewhat recent. Well, I guess it ain't recent. This point, probably a decade ago, but he actually had a vocal hit. Him and Chesney did a duo together called "Down the Road." Yeah. And Mac had wrote, and Kenny got him to sing it with him. And I guess if you're a country music fan, you know the song.
Yeah, that's a really good song.
Yep, Mac. He only had like 3 hits as a solo artist. But
are you going to count that one?
Well, I'm talking on the pop charts.
Okay, well,
pop charts 77 was "It's a Crazy World." Minimum Love was 83.
Yeah.
Which great song, and there were a couple others that scraped the charts.
I wonder what the longest period of time, and pop chart or country chart, either way, Billboard Top 40. I wonder what the longest period of time somebody's gone between top 40 hits, because if he went 83 to, I'm going to say that song came out in 2014. I know it's later in 08. That's a long damn time in between top 40, the hits that you provided vocals on.
Yeah, that's how I knew about him, was the Minimum Love. I didn't know the one from 77, but Minimum Love is where I found out about Mac McAnally.
I knew him as just a songwriter.
Yeah, incredible dude. So, what else do you guys want to talk about? I know
we're 2 hours in. I don't know.
Yeah,
anything else?
Alan and I could bail out at this point and get to watch the end of the North Wilkesboro
race. I've seen that in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, there's about 50 laps left to go.
And by the way, great to have NASCAR back. I'll tell you this real quick, guys. In April of '92, I was up at Lees McRae my freshman year. For those of you who know, I transferred in my sophomore year to East Carolina. So it was early Sunday morning. I get a knock on the door. There was a guy I went to school with. His name was Keith. We were on the same floor. He says, "Hey, man, do you want to go with me to North Wilkesboro?" And me being a soon-to-be 19-year-old, I'm like, "Nah, man, you go ahead." I was like, Saturday night, we'd stayed up, sleep deprivation. And little did I know, like a decade later, they would close the venue. So to see that behind you, Alan, is an amazing feat. And
the last points race there
96.
96, yeah. That's a pretty little track too. I went several times. Back in the day, if it was a Junior Johnson car, they were going to win it in the 70s and 80s. The last win was Jeff Gordon. He won the last points race.
Oh, wow.
96. Terry Labonte won a race. 94. Jeff Bodine won a race there.
I went to the one in 95 when Ernie Irvin made his return.
Yeah, Ernie came back, which is.
Yeah, was that 95 or 94?
It was 94. It was 95 because Ernie was hurt in August of 94.
Yeah. I went to that one.
Yeah.
Tim Butts was born in North Wilkesboro. There you go. Did not know that. Justin's dad. And his aunt lives by the track. Okay.
How about
So I'm
that?
sure they can give us free tickets, right, Justin? Wildfire coming up.
That is very close to the area I will move to one day. In fact, if I can't move to the area I want to move to, it may be Wilkes County, just so I can be 40 minutes from up the mountain and
Boone.
live a lot cheaper. Yeah.
I love it there. That area is. I'm going to tell you. You know how much I love Eastern North Carolina, but my second favorite people in the world is the western part of the state. Man, those mountain people are some of the finest people you ever meet.
Yep.
Will
And
do anything for you, and you would think that when I say step back in time, I mean that in a sincere way, like a nice way.
Once you get out of Boone and Blowing Rock, which by the way I love Boone and Blowing Rock, I'm not saying anything bad about them, but once you get out of there, which is more touristy or college kids, etc., and you go to the other areas of that area of the mountains, the locals, everybody's really nice, and I love that. It's a beautiful area. I love to go there at least one time during the fall and spend a few days there. And I always try to talk Jessica. Whenever we go up there, time we come back, I try to talk her into selling our place and buying some land up there. It's like, let's just buy land and get some land and get a freaking tiny house and move up there. But one of these days it'll happen.
Yep. And speaking of the mountains, guys, and I know we got to go, but they're still fighting in the Senate and Congress, the AM radio bill. And the reason I bring that up is because of the hurricane, the only communication those people had in the mountains was AM radio, and they're trying to take AM radio out of cars, and that is a really bad idea because in the mountainous areas, AM radio is all you have because of the mountains, and if they do away with it, that's a bad deal. So we need to do all we need radio in cars. And make it and keep it as relevant. It's not very relevant around here, obviously, but in the mountainous areas in the north and other states, AM is a lifeline.
And let me just say this too. Okay, so you have.
What happened?
I think Dave froze on us.
Yeah.
I'm back now. AM radio is how everything started, and so.
Dave's froze again.
Dave's freezing.
Yeah, he's on AM. He's on the AM feed.
He's back now, but AM radio, Dave, is extremely important to a huge population in the state of North Carolina. Huge.
Yeah, I'm very frustrated.
Well, what is the reason? I mean, besides being an antiquated technology and not used or utilized at all anymore, except in mountainous areas. What is the reason? Or do they want to use that frequency for something else?
Well, major city AM still do very well with News Talk in Boston, New York.
Well, what is the reason they want to take it out of cars?
Because well, it's the AM technology is a little bit more difficult to navigate when you're putting the radios, when you're putting the all the wiring and stuff like that in.
All right, but okay, right, all right, but why the hell does that's a Ford, Chevy, Nissan, Toyota issue? Why is Senate, Congress getting involved in this? There's got to be a reason.
Well, the major car manufacturers were going to just drop AM radio, and a few people in Congress.
Okay, so there's a bill trying to save it. Okay. I took it as there was a bill trying to get rid of it.
The bill trying to save it.
Okay, I see.
Think about this.
Well, here's the thing. I'll say this. There will always be companies that make AM band radios. So if you buy a brand new Toyota Corolla and it doesn't have AM band and you want an AM band, all you got to go is you can get a radio installed every day. They're not that expensive. And there will be plenty of manufacturers that still make them with AM banned. So it'll be inconvenient, but I'll say for the people that need them, if that bill doesn't pass, go to what's the Crutchfield? Crutchfield still exists. You can order from
Crutchfield's in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Great place, by the way.
Yep.
You can go to your local sound shop. They're still out there, but I know Crutchfield.
There is still a local working Radio Shack in Washington, by the way.
Wow.
Nice.
There's in the western part of Wayne County. Justin, where are you? There's a really good audio shop. I guess they're still out there. it's owned by some foreign people, but they carry, at least last time I went in there, carry every day. It's like stepping back in time to an audio shop in the 80s or 90s. They have everything,
Well,
except modern.
check that out. That's right down my alley there. Huh?
Hey, Alan, you know what's sad is when I drive through Scotland Neck, there's a little AM radio station. It's a gospel station, WYAL 1280, and I always tune in to 1280 AM. That's probably the only time I listen to AM, just to hear a few to hear what they got going. You know, it'll take me for like 20 miles till I get to
Alan is
to Oak City, and it's done. It's gone. It's ceased operations.
My mother-in-law lived in Bend, Oregon, which at one time, which is a very mountainous area, they had one radio station. Seriously, and it was an AM on 1250. They did everything from city council meetings to high school football, and that was it. That's all they.
I got a question for both of y'all, and we're going to wrap this thing up. This is for JR. If you can answer it, answer it. But Dave or Alan are going to come closer to answering this than anybody. So in the early 2000s, and this was on FM, but it reminds me of something that was probably carried on a lot of AM stations. In like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, we'd be scrolling the dial. This is early 2000s. Me and Jessica, either dating or just got married. We're riding around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd always find this goofy ass. It was kids and adults acting, and it was Christian based, and they would be acting out these lame, like, oh golly gee, Jimmy, you shouldn't take that piece of candy because blah blah blah. It was, and I'm sure it was carrying on a lot of AM stations. What in the blue hell was I listening to? Go ahead.
That was a Focus on the Family production. Dr. James Dobson from Focus on the Family did a kids thing, and a lot of Christian stations they come in literally on cassette tapes. You'd put them either in a computer, a basic, or run them straight on the air. But I forget the name of it. That was produced by Focus on the Family.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy's name, he was like a general store owner. Was one.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was the lamest crap you'll ever hear in your life. And I used to, in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, listen to it and laugh my ass off.
Yep.
It was comedy gold if you're 20 years old in the early 2000s.
Yep, that was a.
I forgot all about that, Alan.
What's that?
But I'm sure that was on a lot of. I was listening to it on an FM station, probably Go Mix Christian 89. But I'm sure that was aired on a lot of AM stations.
Yes.
Would have had to have been.
Yes, AM and FM. James Dodd.
Well, Dave froze again.
Yeah,
I'm gonna screenshot that one.
Trivia: Pete Maravich was playing basketball with Dr. James Dobson when he collapsed in 1986. Yeah. They were
Wow.
pickup game out in California when Pistol Pete collapsed.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, so JR, if you never got to hear this wonderful episode show, it would be like, hey Alan, do you think Mary Catherine would mind if I took an extra gumball? Alan, you're on.
Yeah. Well, Mary Catherine is a known thief, but so go ahead. She doesn't mind.
That's not how that show would have went, Alan, at all.
It was called Adventures in Odyssey, by the way.
God, there was nothing odd about it. Well, I mean, yeah, there was, but not in that way. Somebody put that back on from Justin.
Justin used to listen to it.
You were a kid listening to that crap. His grandparents made him listen to it.
Yep. And it literally came on cassette tapes.
Yep.
We used to use them, tape over them for other things after we ran them. Yeah.
I used to listen to it ironically. Justin had to listen to it. His grandparents made him. That's fantastic.
I haven't thought about that in probably 20 or 30 years. So
I think about it at least once a week.
must have liked it then.
I did, ironically. It was comedy gold. Like I said, when you're 20, 21 years old and that crap comes on the radio at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I would just laugh hysterically how lame it was.
Well, one of the jobs I had in radio, which I enjoyed because I learned a lot, was at a crew after 1250 left the country format. 1986, it was a gospel format for several years, and it was my job to run back to back to back to back gospel and preaching programs for like 5 hours, and Adventures in Odyssey was one of those programs. That's what you're talking about.
Did you love it as much as I did?
It was great. It had a nice message, a moral message, but it was very cheesy. Very
Yes, it doesn't kiss my ass, left my butt off.
All right. I never, the things that you never think that'll ever come up on our show.
Well, I just happened to pop in my mind. You guys talking about AM radio. I said, I know who's going to know this answer, Alan and Dave.
By the way, the main character's guy, his name was Wit.
Wit, okay.
Wit.
I just remember just lame, just so lame. But anyway, JR, you got to find some old episodes of that on YouTube.
Yeah, you can listen.
Try.
You can Google Adventures in Odyssey, and there's some audio on whatever. All you got to do is Google Adventures in Odyssey.
Jessica's in bed, so she's missed this whole conversation. I'm going to play it tomorrow morning on the way to work.
And it was always these scenarios that would never happen in real life. And it wasn't like, little Susie, she's a little bit late. So what do we do with? None of that. It was always, just a half a sandwich for lunch. What should I do? Little Jimmy, stole my peanut butter.
All right. I don't even want to extend this, but how about the claymation with Davey? What was that? Remember that show?
Yes, but I don't. When you say it, I immediately know what you're talking about.
That was pretty. Yeah, I'm thinking this is the radio version of that, and I don't even know what it was called.
I don't either, but I can't even really. But I know what you're talking about when you say that. I remember seeing that as a small kid.
Yeah.
I know we got to go, but one of the greatest things ever. You've never done anything in radio until you've played bingo on the radio. Radio bingo. That was a real thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, Robert.
Team called the Team of Stars. Answer: they had 4 future generals and a president on the team.
Wow. There you go. All right.
Well, guys, this has been fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. We're going to get out of here. Thank you guys very much. And if there's anything to have.
And Dave freezes on the close. So there you go, Dave. Wrap it up.
All right, let's get out of here. Everybody have a great week. Go Pirates.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.